Hi, this is Brandon Walters with Interfluent. I'm here today to conduct an interview about PLNs. What is your name and what content and grade level have you taught and how many years have you been teaching?
Okay, my name is Angela Mayone and I have been teaching for 17 years. I taught a few years in the private setting and then switched over to public schools. I have taught all grade levels from pre-K all the way up till 8th grade. Currently, I am teaching 3rd through 5th grade students at the Upper Township Elementary School, and I am the STEM teacher at that school.
As a teacher, can you describe your PLN?
Yes, my PLN consists of 3 different branches. The first branch is PLCs, which stands for Professional Learning Communities. Weekly, I meet with the teachers in our building, different grade level teachers, to discuss what they're covering in their classrooms. I can then take that information and develop STEM activities that relate to what the students are learning. Cross-curricular connections are very important because those connections can show proficiency. It allows students to take what they've learned and build on that knowledge and apply it. Second, I also use websites such as Pinterest and Teachers Pay Teachers. Pinterest is great because they offer a variety of activities that you can then model in your classroom, or you can change it up to what's best for you. Teachers Pay Teachers, they do have some activities that you do have to pay for, but they also offer a lot of freebies, which is great when you have a limited budget in an educational setting. And Teachers Pay Teachers gives you everything that you need information-wise to go ahead and conduct activities or labs in your classroom. Lastly, I use NJCTL, which is set up and organized by New Jersey teachers, and it connects to the core content standards. I can go on that website as a member and I can download PowerPoints, I can download lab activities, and they give you everything you need from materials lists to your objectives, along with your rubric for grading students and engaging their proficiency.
How is your PLN supporting your teaching?
My PLN has supported my teaching because it allows me to socialize again with the staff members that work in my building. I'm able to see what it is that they're covering in their lessons so that my STEM lessons are relevant to what the students are learning. For example, if in ELA, the 3rd grade students are learning about fairy tales, I can then adapt my STEM lessons to relate to their fairy tale unit. If you look at the example of the 3 little pigs, students in my STEM lab would then be broken up into several groups. I'd have 2 groups working with hay, 2 groups working with twigs, and 2 groups working with sugar cubes to symbolize bricks. Each of those groups then would build a structure, and those structures would be tested with a fan to see which structure can withstand the wind. And if you think about the big bad wolf blowing down the homes of the 3 little pigs, it allows the students to relate to their fairy tale activities in ELA, but have a fun hands-on activity that relates to what it is that they're learning.
What advice and recommendations would you give to a new teacher entering the teaching profession on what to include in their PLN?
Well, the first thing I would say is definitely include some websites that would be beneficial to you. Why reinvent the wheel in this day and age? We have a wealth of knowledge at our fingertips, and if you can find something on Pinterest or on Teachers Pay Teachers and JCTL, any of those websites, there's no reason for you to reinvent something that's already been in existence. Just model it or modify it to work with how your students learn. The second suggestion I would have is not to have everything relate to social media. If there's one thing I've learned teaching technology for 17 years is, yes, technology is very beneficial to students, but it can also hinder their learning. If students have too much screen time, they lose the ability to socialize and figure things out. They're so quick to just look it up instead of trying to experiment and find what works. So while, yes, you want to have some sites on there, make sure you include professional learning communities or seeking the advice of veteran teachers before you would put web-based things on your PLN, because the teachers that have been doing the job for years have experienced failures, they've experienced successes, and nothing competes with real-world experience. And you can only get that by talking to people that have done the job before.
Thank you.
You're welcome.